Hey everybody, it's Steve at 1000-Year Homes. Forgive my Spartan look. I'm just really working hard trying to get this drywall up. But let's talk a minute about framing. That's where I'm at. Rotate. All right, so as you can see, the house is coming along nicely. But I have to finish the framing in these sections here, including the roof, in order to finish up this part of the house and make it quote-unquote livable. Then I have to do the drywall, Italian plastering that I'm floor, etc., etc. But framing. This method of framing that I do adds an extra 6 inches across the width compared to normal framing. So not only do I have a higher ceiling than normal, and even higher again because I bought a high cube. But I also have an additional 6 inches on each side that other people won't have with framing with the studs out like that. And they use metal framing. So there's two ways, right? That versus the methodology that I did, which is why I'm calling it flat framing. Now, that adds up to 20 additional feet in a small home, right? That only has 320 square feet. So, you know, I think you'll feel it. I feel it. It allows me to put in a full-size bed, for example, this way, where you wouldn't be able to do that. So if I went in my bedroom right now, took a look, you would see that I have a full-size bed that fits. And let's take a look there. And the reason why that fits is because I went ahead and did this flat framing methodology. So real quick, let's rotate. So that bed is an old bed from the 1900s. It's my grandmother's bed. So notice it fits all the way in there. Now I can't get around it to like change it, but I could rotate it a different way. You could not do that with the framing method that is normally done. So there's a huge benefit. So, and then I'm going to rotate one more time. So use this methodology for framing. If you're going to use wood and drywall anyway, you pick up a little bit of extra room. Disadvantage is the plumbing, the way I'm doing it, I'm coming up through the floor a little different. But I'm still using insulation. I'm still using 3/4 inch drywall. Lots of good stuff is hanging on this framing, and the frames are anchored to the shipping container wall, so it's super rigid. It's not like these framing are supporting a huge load. They're just spurring strips for anchoring the drywall, and a pocket for me to put in both conduit as well as insulation. Now, in your neck of the woods, you'll have to check with your coating people to make sure you can do that, and whether or not you have to legally put anywhere you have conduit, if you have to put a strike plate over that wood. I don't know. That's up to you. But at the very least, if you can do this, you're going to pick up an additional bit of space. So let me rotate here one more time. I am heading to the end of the door. That framing, my vision is the 4x4 post in the corner and a log, a hand-hewn timber in the top. So that'll slow me down when I get to the hand-hewn timber part. And then one last thing, I'm going to have my French doors in front of these doors for now. And so I want room so the doorknob doesn't strike, you know, and damage the French doors. And so I could close it up when I travel. But then I'll convert those doors into looking like Spanish mission doors, you know, like heavy wooden oak / cedar doors with riveting and clavos and all that good stuff. So in a tiny home, a little bit extra space is a big win. In fact, you're looking for any little space. These little nooks that I did here, rotate. Those little nooks that I do, look how handy that is during construction, you know, and yet it doesn't really take up a whole lot of anything. So those kind of things are really stellar. You know, that becomes a shelf on top. Excellent work. Really good design. That is a really good design feature and one that you should consider if you're going to build my way. Without further ado, let me just real quick start some framing, and then it is cold, so you know, I'll keep continuing on with the framing, and then when I hit that, I'll stop. But I do have the right drywall out there, so once I get a little section framed, I'll do the ceiling part, and then the walls parts, and then I'll keep moving forward like that, and away we go. So anyway, here's some actual framing for you. All right, I have here in my hand, I have a Self-drilling screw, wood to metal. And that's what I have behind me, a problem to solve, wood to metal. Some of those 2x4s are sprung and they're going to come out from the wall, and even the drywall won't be enough to push them back in. So I'm going to anchor them. Normally it says, see, drill, tap, and fasten. Drill, tap, and fasten. I'm going to skip the drill step just this once and see whether or not it's strong enough to get through the Core 10 steel and do this all in one fell swoop. So we shall know together. Let's just pick a spot, right? Ooh. Gotta make sure I'm gonna hit something. I'm gonna have to come over it at a little bit of an angle. So let's do that. All right, here we go, Internet. Not so far. I'm gonna bet I needed to drill. One more time. Was that it? Did I get punched through? Wow, I need a better drill bit if I'm gonna get through that. These are two different kinds. This one's only 2-inch, but look, it's got a Torx head. And this is an old Phillips. Not so good. Phillips. This is maybe an honest test for this because, you know, I've already popped through the metal and whatnot. But you can see, you take a sizable, it's not going to work. You're going to have to pre-drill that one. So I'm just being lazy. I still didn't drill, but I got a better bit, if you can see that. It fits more appropriately in there. Let's try that. Right back in the same hole, new screw. Well, there we go. And that is in there nice and tight. Nice and tight. I buy these drill bits by the dozen. All right, let me put another one in just to be safe. Just to be safe. All right, the lazy way took 5-6 minutes, broke a screw. The right way, 2 minutes. So there she go. Proof of the lazy man works the hardest, demonstrated right here. All right, let's see, let's keep working. Even though I'm off grid and the only permit I have to pull is a septic, I'm still doing my electric to code and you know, just following it. It'd be weird to try to sell something later on. And originally this was going to be a light switch, but in another video I talked about that I've decided to not put in a light there, but you can't leave a knockout empty. So they make these plugs that fill in, so just get yourself some of those. Don't leave holes in your boxes. Insects, whatnots can get in there. It is proper code to plug those holes. These are, you know, probably under $1, I'm gonna bet. So then they'll just push right in. And then I don't have a hole there. Changed my mind, fix the box. 1/2 inch, and they make the 3/4 and all that. All right, so before I can put drywall any further, This is where my furring needs to be attached, and y'all have seen me do that. I cut 2x4s as needed and put them in there. 24-inch center max, right? And really I do 16s. I match the insulation where I can. So let me go ahead and finish tightening all of that up. I'm going to put you in stop motion. There's nothing to learn. It's just busy work that has to be done, including the ceilings. I haven't done anything with the ceilings yet either. So all of the support pieces are just set in there. The rafters are floating on the joist. So, you know, I'll need to get all of those anchored in there.